Hey, what is going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to be going over how I was able to make $300 in a few minutes day trading. I'm going to be showing you guys how to kind of read a little bit deeper into the charts, and I guarantee the lessons that you learn from this video you can use in your trading in the future. It's going to make your trading so much better. Alrighty, guys, so there is a watch list that I send out to our private group every single day, and as you can see here, this is the watch list that I sent out today. So we were watching 4 stocks: NVDA, Tesla, AMD, and broadband. I sent out the key levels that I am watching, and I'm going to show you guys why out of all 4 of them, I decided to go with AMD, and I knew that AMD would have a nice move for today. Alrighty, so if we go back to the charts here, I'm going to show you guys the other 4 stocks and why I didn't trade those first before I show you guys AMD. So the first one on our list is Tesla. So as you guys can see, my favorite strategy, I went over a bunch of times, but my favorite strategy is the breakout and retest. So when we have a key level like this, like you can see on Tesla, I like to see this thing break out, come back, retest the zone, and start to move higher. And for this morning for Tesla, that is kind of what we've seen. Or for yesterday on Tesla, we've seen Tesla break out of this 220 zone and start to trend higher up. And I seen Tesla as a great trade if we can come back and retest this 221 zone, and that would have made a great trade. But when markets opened up, Tesla was already trending higher, and it was already testing this 226 zone, 225 zone, and I knew the trade had left me already. And the last thing that you want to do is to be chasing. So I felt a little FOMO because I was watching Tesla yesterday at this level, and I had a feeling this move would happen, but I missed the trade. When it comes to trading, if you miss it, it's okay. The train has left, but there is another train that comes by every single day. So no worries. We move on to the next one. So I took Tesla off of my list. Now, if we go to AVGO, I was watching this 168 level right here. So if you see this 168 level right here, this was a nice supply area right here. And I was waiting for this thing to break out of this level. So I was waiting for a breakout like this, come back, retest, and start to move higher. And if you look at the rest of the day, that move kind of really never happened. It attempted that breakout right there, but it never really happened. And I know what people are going to say: why did I not just trade this rejection at that supply level? And guys, there are B setups and A plus setups when it comes to trading. When you are trading something just because it's at a resistance, if you are shorting something just because it is at a resistance, you're gambling because you are just predicting that it might reject that area, and that is a low quality setup. I don't like taking those setups. What I like to take is when a stock shows me that it has volatility, it has strength, and then it comes back and retests that area. And that is me reacting to a move and not predicting a move. So AVGO, we did not have that break higher, and I did not want to take this position. Now the next one is NVIDIA, and NVIDIA kind of was the same exact deal. So as you guys can see, NVIDIA recently has played perfectly when it came to that breakout and retest. So you can see this 118 level, we broke out, retested, went to the next zone. Then we had the 124 level yesterday, we broke out, retested, went higher. So today NVIDIA was testing this 130 level, and I was looking for the same thing. Can we break out of 130, come back and retest, and start to trend higher? And as you can see, the same thing that happened with broadband or AVGO happened with NVIDIA. It came to the supply level and it rejected and started to move lower. So I did not take that trade. And now I'm going to show you guys why I took AMD and why I knew AMD would be the breakout player in the opening. So as you can see, there is a small difference. Let me go to replay a little bit. There is a small difference in AMD compared to the rest of the stocks on our watch list that we went over. So AMD, I was watching this 157 area-ish for a breakout and retest. So a breakout and retest and to start trending higher. So if we go back, we can see why this level is so significant. So it's pretty obvious this level is significant. AMD has found support in this level in the past. It's found rejection areas. So a breakout above this level can definitely give us a small squeeze that we need. But the reason why I took AMD, and I knew this would be the breakout stock and the one that I really wanted to watch, is because AMD broke out in pre-market. So it broke out of this level in pre-market and started to retest that area. And the reason that I love that so much is because let's look deeper into it. Who trades in pre-market? Usually it is not retail traders, but it is institutional traders, professional traders, and people who are a little bit more serious about trading. Those are the ones who are usually taking positions in pre-market. And the way my mind works is, hey, if AMD has this strong supply level and in pre-market institutions started to buy this thing up and they broke this thing above this resistance level, that tells me AMD is something that is being bought up. And that is what I am interested in. That is the trade that I want to take, and I want to watch this level. So I want to watch this level when we come to that zone, and that is where I want to start taking my positions. That is number one. Number two, how I entered my position and how I was able to catch basically the bottom of this trade. So if we go to a 1 minute time frame, you can see our zones look something like this. And I turn on my moving averages. I sometimes like to turn this on. And the reason I do is because I know that there is something called stop hunting, where institutions like to break this lower a little bit just so they can stop out retail and then start moving the move higher. I know you guys have taken trades before where you enter at a great support level and it starts to break lower, it hits your stop loss, and then it continues to go where you predicted. And the reason is it's done purposefully by the big traders and big money. They hit those stop losses so they can start to move that stock higher. And that's why you get stopped out a lot. So I try not to get shaken out by that stop loss. So for me, I want the best entry. That is the one way that I can almost guarantee that I won't be stopped out if the move will go my way, is I want the best entry. So I can enter here. So I can enter here. Maybe I can enter when we break out of this level right here. Or I can enter here, right? So for me, if I don't want to get shaken out of this trade, I want to enter at this lowest level right there. So that is what I did. I set alerts at that 155.85 level, 156 area. And I was like, hey, if we come to that zone, that is where I am taking my trade. So we spiked down, and that is where I entered the first minute of the market open. That is where I entered my trade at about $156. Now I set my stop loss to 20%. So I took a 20% stop loss because that tells me that, okay, if we start going a little bit lower, I won't be stopped out right away. When I reach this invalid zone, I won't be stopped out right away. And that 20% kind of gives me some wiggle room where if that 20% gets triggered, then yeah, maybe this trade was wrong and we're going to start trending lower. So I took this trade at about 9:30, and you can see it started to play around a little bit, but finally it started to break out. Now, where do I take my take profit? So this is the next supply level up here at $166, and ideally that is where I would like to take my profits. But I know with these markets, and especially when we have a volatile week and volatile days like we have been having, moves don't always go to the next level, and sometimes we can see full reversals. So I needed to set up areas where I can see some resistance, and for this I looked at book maps. So if we take a look at book maps, I'm gonna open this up for AMD. Let me see. So for AMD, you can see right here that 160 level had a lot of sellers sitting there, and I knew, hey, we can reverse from that area. So my best bet is to set my take profit around $160. And once we reached that area, I took my profits. I had a little FOMO because I seen this thing started to run up, but you got to follow your trade plan. I sold my position. It was about a 35% gain, and I am glad that I did, because as you can see, we eventually had a full reversal and started to come lower. All right, guys, so that is all for this video. The main lesson and the main takeaways from this is that one of my favorite strategies is obviously the breakout and retest, whether it's to the upside or to the downside. But what I love to look at is that happening in pre-market? If I see that breakout and retest happening in pre-market, that tells me there is a strong probability that this move, that squeeze, will happen when the markets open up. All right, guys, that is all for this video. If you guys want alerts, because as you guys can see, I sent out alerts for this trade exactly. So if you go to trade alerts here and we go to newest post, you can see here, I sent out this alert for AMD exactly when I entered, where I entered, and when I took my profits. So as you can see, exactly when I took my profits, I sent out to the group. So if you guys want to be part of that community, that will be the first link in the description below. And if you guys have any questions, just comment down below anything, and I'll make sure to respond. All right, guys, that is all for this video. I hope you guys have a great day, and see you in trading tomorrow. Peace.